What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here and welcome to some more BD DragLoon attacks. I did mention the other day when I showed you the Town Hall 11 raids from Red Elite's recent war that I would bring you my war attacks, so here they are. I also have a very impressive Town Hall 9 3-star attack using the baby dragons. I'll actually just quickly show you the base design and the troop composition used. Very nice use of the baby dragons alongside a queen charge, so make sure to stick around for that after my war attacks. But let's get into why I chose these bases for the BD DragLoon strategy. So for this first one, the expos are set to ground. That is a huge advantage. The air sweeper here isn't really going to cause me any issue, and it's also quite an easy base to funnel. You can see that once we get through the initial defenses on the edge here, there's a couple of storages to get through, but nothing which will be shooting at my baby dragons. I can then send the DragLoon portion in through the south. So let's start out this raid. I'm going to Zapquake this air defense to the left. That means that I'm out of range of the Archer Queen, so my baby dragons can funnel a lot easier without her shooting them down. Notice how I got a lot of damage from the Earthquake spell on the surrounding defenses as well, and I was able to take out that one directly next to the air defense. Starting the baby dragon deployment, you want to make sure that they're far enough apart that they're continuing to get that raged bonus, but you're not overusing them at this point. I do sneak in a balloon, just about manages to get that archer tower down. That can be very helpful. Limited effect on this raid because I could have followed up with a baby dragon straight afterwards, but again, just taking my time. You can actually see the radius where the Grand Warden will actually shoot the baby dragons, and this one falls just short. That is absolutely perfect. I don't need to deploy any other baby dragons in that area. It's going to move to the east to the mortar, take that out, and then be able to take the expo out. That is more than enough funnel, so I can save the rest of my baby dragons. I can either use that to clear up for the 50% at the end, or to help with the funnel on the opposite side of the map where I'm going to use the heroes. So moving into that portion of the raid, I start with a couple of baby dragons just to ensure that the heroes will move down towards the south and take out that little compartment of defenses. You'll notice a Tesla popped straight up, so I put a baby dragon straight on top to target that initially. Does mean that they lose their enraged bonus, but it was probably worth it to get that Tesla down quickly, and the baby dragons can just move forward, start taking out these storages, and then you can see that the heroes will go down to the south from this position. I can continue to bring the baby dragons in because they're not going to take huge amounts of damage. Again, once I get them to them storages, they can take them down rather easily, and I can concentrate the fire of my heroes onto these defenses in this compartment. So the heroes are in, King's ability has been used, and I'm just going to let the Queen take out some more of these defenses, trying to bring in the DragLoon portion before she goes down so that we can try and protect her a little bit. But again, you don't really want to overcomplicate things. Make sure you get your funnel correct. You can see the Lava Hound bringing the fire of all the air traps. That is exactly what that is there for, just to clear the path for your dragons and balloons. The haste spell pushes the balloons forward to try and get the defenses down quicker. 2 rage spells are then used for the dragons. There are a couple of minions, but I'm not going to waste a poison spell at this point because the dragons weren't under fire. Once they get over the town hall, I can use another rage spell. I did have poisons down just in case any other troops came out the clan castle, but they didn't. We can get the town hall down. The dragons can even then push through the other side of the core, take out some extra buildings for more percent, and just a very comfortable 2-star strategy for me. The BD DragLoon is just a great strategy as a Town Hall 10, aiming to get the 2 stars against Town Hall 11s. Very good against the ring bases, island style bases where you can really work your funnel, but a lot of the bases that are trying to defend against ground attacks, you can really hit home with the BD DragLoon. Moving on to my next war attack, this one is higher up the list, but to be honest, I think it was an easier attack in itself. You can see this base, not as bad of a funnel. As long as I take out some of the buildings on the outside, there's plenty of buildings in front where the dragons can be attracted in over, and that just makes it a lot easier when I'm setting up the attack. Now I'm going to bring the main portion, the DragLoons, in from the east, purely because the town hall is skewed off to that side. I'm going to use the heroes at the northeast because the air sweeper would be in that direction for the baby dragons, and use the baby dragons down on the southeast to create the funnel there. Now there are a few snipes on this base, and whenever they're are snipes on a base, I would definitely recommend taking advantage of them, trying to adjust your army. There's a couple of barracks at the north here that I can take out with minions, so that is actually going to help to create the funnel for the heroes as well. And there's also the camp down on the west with the archer, so I definitely recommend taking advantage of them if you can. I zapquake the air defense down in this region. You can see the air sweeper that's pointing down to the southwest isn't going to be giving my baby dragons too much of an issue down in this area. Now, I always recommend that you are patient with the baby dragon deployment, that you don't use more than what is necessary, but I think in this raid I certainly used more than what was necessary. You can see here, once I take out this cannon and the elixir collector, the funnel is pretty much set. There's more than enough buildings to draw the dragons into the town hall. For some reason this Tesla pops and I'm just determined to take it down, so I keep popping baby dragons in even though they're taking huge amounts of damage. I do succeed and get that Tesla down, mind, I have to say that, so it was worth it in that respect. You can see just how easy the baby dragons are getting taken out. Tesla goes down and I'm certainly not going to send any more in that region. I do need to save some to help my heroes. You can see the minions have created a very nice funnel, and I have a baby dragon left, but I'm not going to put it in yet because that air defense would take it straight down. I'm using the king first to tank and take out some of the buildings, and then the queen to try and get that air defense down. Once I know the queen is locked onto that air defense, I can use the baby dragon. I'm wanting my heroes to go into the base here a little bit, just so they can take out some of the inner buildings, lure the clan castle, take that down, and then you can see the nice little funnel of buildings that are actually going to attract my DragLoon portion in towards the town hall. So as soon as that funnel is created, Lava Hound is in first. Again, that comes roughly across the path that my dragon and balloons are going to take. Loons are pushed right the way forward to try and take out some of them defenses first, and you can see actually the Lava Hound drew the queen right across the map, so that was really beneficial actually, kept her away from my dragons for a long time, got them in towards the town hall. That goes down rather easily with them 2 rage spells, and then there is plenty left over to help pick up the 50%. I did quickly put my last archer in on the army camp at the bottom to try and snipe that off before the eagle artillery locked onto it, and it was 1 extra percent either way, but as it happens the dragons took down the eagle artillery, so it wouldn't have mattered. Finished off quite comfortably on the 2-star, and again, very nice example of the BD DragLoon as a Town Hall 10, 2-starring them Town Hall 11s. So let's move on to that Town Hall 9 attack I was telling you about. This one is actually from our most recent war, but I thought it was very, very nice using the baby dragons alongside that queen charge, so let's dive into it. There is one pesky builder hut in the corner that we're going to take out first, try and get a couple of snipes, but then we're going to dive straight into the queen charge from over on the west here. You can see an air bomb smashes all of the healers straight away, but that's not going to matter. The queen is going to push straight into the middle of the base using the baby dragons just to help funnel her. You may have seen this done previously with minions or even the super queen farming strategy. Exactly the same principle, using the baby dragons just to take out them buildings around the outside and push the queen in. Now what is great is once the queen is attracting fire from the defenses, the baby dragons are also sneaking in and taking out the defenses on the outside. Now Hitman is doing a great job getting his queen to come into the base, trying his best to avoid the air defense as much as possible. Obviously sometimes the baby dragons are coming within radius, but it's trying to utilize that queen to take them down and use the baby dragons around the edges. Now that's not going to work for the air defense on the back end of the base, but you will see that Hitman has a trick up his sleeve for that as well. Golem comes out of the clan castle and we're using the rage spell to help the queen through that, just sneaking in the baby dragons around the edges to continue taking out them buildings and just close in towards the defenses. Another rage spell having to be used as the queen comes into heavy fire from all the defenses in the center of the base. You can see exactly what I'm talking about with that baby dragon at the north there, just coming in towards the archer tower, then to the cannon. Here is that trick on the back end. Golem coming in first, followed by the king, and then the bowlers. They're going to be enough to get in and get that air defense down and continue to just sneak in the baby dragons around the edges. Just at this point in the raid, take a second to look over to the west side of the base and just how the queen has progressed in a straight line through the base using the baby dragons to help her. Another rage spell is used over with the king and the bowlers just to help them through that heavy clump of defences, and then again just bringing in the baby dragons around the edges very sparingly, and it works great. The bowlers take down the air defense and the X-bow, even get into that Tesla farm, and then he can spread the baby dragons utilising that rage bonus. And all in all, I just think it was a brilliant attack how he staged it in, sneaking the baby dragons in, and just look at how many troops are left over at the end of this raid as well. Very, very impressive for me. So what did you guys think of that attack? I personally love how, if you picture a big circle around the side of the map, he was just basically closing that in, honing his troops in towards the defences around the edge of the base, and all in all, just a very unorthodox raid. So that wraps it up for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been your host Sloth. Make sure to subscribe for more Clash of Clans, and until next time, peace out guys. Stay tuned for more Clash of Clans.